Wednesday morning, huge week in Europe, and it's not over yet. Big matches last night, of course, involving Liverpool, involving Arsenal, involving Tottenham. This is Wednesday, November the 5th, and it's same again tonight. So much going on. Of course, tomorrow being Thursday, we'll turn our attention to boxing as well. A bit of boxing for you later on in the show. We'll get to that when we get to it. But in the meantime, Arsenal and Arsenal fans, in some way, we kind of get sidetracked by Simon and Danny locking horns early, which is what this show's all about. But we kind of get sidetracked from talking about Arsenal until now. So we're three quarters of an hour into the show, but we have to do it because we must do it because what Arsenal are doing is special, so special. Are they virtually a defensive freak? When you look at it, they beat Slavia Prague last night 3-0. The clean sheet run continues. 8 games, consecutive clean sheets for Arsenal. It goes on, and they keep winning. They keep winning as well. So they've matched a 122-year-old record dating way back to 1903 of no goals conceded in 8 consecutive matches. So that record and matching it was put to Arteta, and he was asked, how are you doing it?
Well, that's a long time ago, so it tells you about the difficulty of achieving it. There is a lot of work there, obviously, to achieve that. And the most pleasing thing probably is not the records, is the mindset of the players. They are talking there about how we can still do better, that we still 1 or 2 situations that we could have resolved better. So if we do that, we can be improving, and that record will have a bigger meaning.
Danny, I mean, this is remarkable, isn't it? And there's nothing to suggest it's going to come to the end of the run anytime soon. What they are doing. And across the back, the standouts, Saliba and Gabriel, obviously. But elsewhere, they don't seem to have a weakness.
They are relentless, physically brilliant. But the thing that separates them is their mindset when they defend collectively, when I watch them, which is all down to the manager, really. They don't carry anyone, and they enjoy defending. Yeah. They enjoy it. But the forward lads do it. The wingers are flying back to help. You got Eza doing his bit, who some people class as a luxury player. Physically, he's doing the work. Gyökeres has made a big difference in terms of the press. He's better at it than Havertz. More tenacious in his press. He's a big lump. He gets after people, harasses people. They are exactly what a team of top players should be when they haven't got the ball. They're humble, and they don't have anyone who I can think of that even remotely comes close to being lazy in that system. And that's because the manager dictates that's what they have to do. Because if they don't do it, or they're not quite at it defensively, they don't play. Now, he's got a luxury now of having 2 players more or less for each position. Now, they can't maintain this level of impregnability, if that's a word. I just don't, because you have bad days, and they're going to come up against high. For example, the next game in the Champions League is Bayern Munich.
Right. Now,
Bayern Munich have won every single game they've played. You know, that's going to be a test.
But they'll be worried about Arsenal.
Yeah, of course, especially as I think it's at Arsenal. But they'll have a little bad spell at some point. They'll concede some goals. But overall, you look when I look at Arsenal now, I look at them and think it doesn't really matter if they don't play that well with the ball.
Right.
They're still going to get results because they're so good without it.
So tell me at the moment, and try and predict this for me, are they going to outdo Chelsea? 04-05, they still hold, from that season, the best defensive Premier League record. They conceded 15. Arsenal have conceded 3.
No.
So we're into November.
No. Can't see that.
Are they going to concede another 12 along the way?
Yeah.
Or more?
I think 15 is nothing short of ridiculous to maintain that level of consistency. What Arsenal have done from now to this what is it, 9 games, 10 games, whatever.
It's similar, Danny. At this point in the season, Chelsea conceded 2.
It is. But
at this point in the season, 2. Well, Arsenal 3.
I'll carry on. They'll have a little bad spell where they concede a couple here and there, and 15 is ridiculous. Honestly, that's absolutely crazy numbers.
Yeah.
I'd be amazed if they equal or beat that. Absolutely amazed.
What do you think, Simon? I mean, as Danny rightly says, Arsenal are second in the Champions League at the moment, 4 wins from 4. No goals conceded. Next up, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich will be worried about Arsenal as much as Arsenal will be concerned about facing them.
Yeah,
and so they should be.
So they should be. I mean, Arsenal are a formidable side. They've built a brilliant squad. They've brought some players in that have really enabled other players to really blossom. You know, Zubimendi frees up Declan Rice. When Zubimendi doesn't play, the boy that they brought in from Brentford fills that role. So they've got a very decent squad. They brought Eze in to give them more creativity. They're a very good side, and they should be in a position now to achieve what Arteta's been threatening to achieve in the last 2 or 3 seasons, which is to win the league. I expect them to win the league. I didn't expect them to win the league at the beginning of the season. I expected Liverpool to win it. But new information provides new thinking.
But still to come back, Simon, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Havertz, Odegaard, Madueke, Zubimendi, Gabriel Jesus,
Absolutely.
still to return.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a great squad. You know, you've got young kids out there like Max Dowman being blooded that are playing in the Champions League themselves. They've got a raft of talent. They've got a youth development system that's bringing young players through that shows itself in all its finest form, which is how football should be, which is young players coming through, top players being bought, a squad being assembled, and a team coming out of it. And Arteta has built an environment at Arsenal that has revived the club in lots of ways, because there was a criticism about the lack of energy around the place. There was a criticism, the only thing they seemed to be happy about was complaining. They hounded out Wenger. Emery wasn't given much of a chance, and Arteta has had some ups and downs, but certainly the energy around Arsenal, when you go and watch them as a team, not just as a team playing, you know, Newcastle got in amongst them, and Newcastle scored a goal against them, and Arsenal had to dig deep and get themselves back into that game, and did it in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Liverpool beat.
And Liverpool beat them, so they're not beyond beatable, and they're not beyond scoring goals against, but they are a very, very formidable side, and they're in the box seat to do something quite significant this season, and I expect them to win the league now.
The other thing they've got, which is talked about, some people don't think it's as important as others I listen to, but that hunger you have after failure, because they have been called failures, some of those lads who've been there the last couple of seasons, you know, a couple of second places.
Oh yeah, choking and all that. Yeah.
There seems like a will and a determination to prove people wrong in the group.
Yeah.
Maybe that comes from the manager. Maybe
it's fascinating to see how this wonderful Arsenal backline stands up against Haaland right now. I mean, obviously City.
They played him. He scored.
Yeah.
They drew, didn't they? They got the late when Eze opened them up late on.
In the longer term down the season.
Yeah. It'll be fascinating to see how they stand up to Kane.
Yeah, well, I don't think Kane in isolation is their problem. It's Munich's flair and power everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know?
Dan, just in the passing of clean sheets, do we pay enough attention to clean sheets? We pay a lot of attention to goals scored. Oh, they're banging them in right, left and centre.
No, but
clean sheets, massive part of the game. Is appreciated enough?
The only success I've had in my career was based on foundation for, like, defensively solid. Like our Liverpool Houllier side, for example, was not particularly great to watch. We played a lot of teams better than us and give them respect and played pragmatically. We were really hard nut to crack. And even our success at Fulham was based on exactly the same thing. I think now, because we've got to the point now, haven't we, where teams are doing okay in West Ham's a great example, Moisey. You know, they're finishing in top 8, top 7, getting into Europe, but the football's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, we've heard it before. How many clubs? I remember my days at Charlton when they were a Premier League side, and I think the year before I got there, they were top 10. We finished about 8th or 9th in my first season. And then the fans, there was discontent that Kerb's style wasn't good enough. You know, I think everyone wants good results and good football.
Sure. Danny was on co-comms duty last night because 10-man Tottenham demolished Copenhagen by 4-0. We'll look at that next. That and a whole bunch of things. We're coming up to 11 o'clock this Wednesday morning. And we're live in Talk Sport with Selco, where the trade goes.